What's good, everybody? Yapping hours back at it again. I know we sometimes missed about our three episode thing, but guess what? We're about to talk about it. But specifically, there is a TikTok that talks about fighting games. But Krim, I'll have you explain because we didn't know about this. You do.
Oh, well, basically, in short, do season passes keep fighting games hype and alive? What do you guys think? Me personally, I think no, it doesn't. Like, come on. I hate this whole thing where a game drops with 10, 15 characters. And I mentioned this in another video, but 10, 15 characters, so they basically half-ass the base roster, and then the rest of the characters, and sometimes there'll be a huge amount, maybe up to like 20, 30 characters. It's all paid DLC. Like, why? How does that keep it hype? Let's say you're playing a game like Street Fighter. We should have the characters we all know and love from the get-go onto the base roster because it's what's expected. I don't have to wait 2 years for Akuma. You guys, it's 2025 and motherfuckers are still hyped for Akuma. Like, you want to pay $7 for a character that you already know how he's gonna play. They're just gonna add like 1 or 2 new moves, and that's basically.
They're gonna be like, oh,
yeah.
Akuma just did a DP. Oh, fuck.
Akuma's back.
Demon! Akuma did a demon flip! Oh, Bob! Akuma did a demon flip! Holy shit!
So,
and Bison? Oh!
so, ladies and gentlemen, I think you either need us to have reaction videos of new fighting game characters, or these niggas need to make a fucking channel to where they have reaction to fighting game characters.
Like, think about it, and like, let's say you look into the past, before DLC was even a thing. Dude, fighting game rosters were so huge. Street Fighter 4.
Street Fighter 4,
they had to
man.
upgrade it through. Yeah, you got Street Fighter 4. Well, they had to upgrade it through additions, but like still, before DLC was a thing.
Mortal Kombat, Armageddon.
Exactly, Mortal Kombat, Super Smash Brothers, all the characters, and you know what I realized too? DLC and season passes has taken the fun. I don't know if it's a hot take, but what I believe is taking the fun away of unlocking characters. Most common example you can think of is Street Fighter. I mean, not Street Fighter, Smash Brothers. You know, when you're playing the game, bloop, 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 and then all of a sudden, bloop, bloop, a challenger approaches.
I gotta cut you off on that one. We will never get unlockable characters ever again, unless it's a boss character. But I fully agree with it, and here's why. The reason we're not gonna get unlockable characters anymore is because people spoil it. No, it's not because of money. Yeah. I think it's mostly because people spoil it. So people will like play the game early, and people want to be the one to leak the information of what's gonna come out for the game. Or they'll data mine it, and they'll just be like, okay guys, here's everything in the game. Here's all the game files. If you play the story mode, boom, you get this. There's nothing special about unlocks anymore because people are just gonna look it up. We literally have Game Shark, and it's called Google. Okay, remember when Game Shark back in the day was some special that people had to go out and buy because they didn't know anything about the game, where you had to go out and buy like a game guide and shit like that.
Some of them had tutorials and shit.
Yeah, you had tutorials and whatnot. Those days are long gone. Now you can find everything out about a game, like a week before it even comes out.
A month.
Yeah, a month even.
This is why I hate leakers. I know I mentioned it before, but this is why I fucking hate leakers.
Yeah, so that's why we don't get unlocks. So now developers are like, okay, you don't want unlocks, we won't give you unlocks. We'll just
but that shouldn't be their
season passes.
That shouldn't be their excuse to half-ass the roster and give us 10 characters on base.
Which is correct.
I want all these characters, but then people are like, oh, but the game's gonna get stale because we got all the characters already. And it's like, no, if you get a big roster, everybody's learning different characters, and then people are talking about it, and then you can create a community on, oh, this character can do this character can do that, this is how you deal with this character. There's so much to learn if you just have that all at launch. But then, I don't know.
The roster, I'll agree with you there, should be bigger. Even if you're gonna half-ass it, because I mean the only games who can't half-ass it at all, otherwise like people would protest, is like Tekken, because they're just known for giving you damn near everything. And KOF.
The only time I would find a character hype in a season pass is if it's someone we haven't seen in such a long time. Like for example, Street Fighter 6. I know shortly, maybe in 3 weeks, I believe we're gonna get Elena. I don't really like Elena, but I can understand the hype because we haven't seen her since 4, which is how long ago? Yeah, I was about to say third strike.
But
if you're putting someone like Bison and Akuma, which is in every single game, as like we just got Heihachi on Tekken 8, and people were hyped for that shit. Oh, he's back from the dead. Oh, like who cares? It's Heihachi. Y'all know how Heihachi's gonna play, especially you Tekken Legacy fighters.
Yeah, he should have been in base roster. And you talking about that? Rainbow just said people would get mad about Tekken, like if they decrease the Tekken roster or whatever. Here's the thing: they're giving people characters that were already in the previous Tekken game. Like they just announced Fakuram for Tekken 8, and he was the brand new. He was the DLC character of Tekken 7, and we're getting him as a DLC character again in Tekken 8.
And then who was that one?
The karate chick, right?
Lydia.
Yeah. Why was she DLC if she was DLC in Tekken 7?
They did her too. She's DLC again, part 2.
So I know we kind of lost the bloody plot a little bit, but let me bring it back
if it's gonna be a returning character that we have every game, like Akuma, Bison, those are like my most common examples. At least switch them up so much that you can build up the hype. You get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying. I would prefer they don't switch them up and just add them in the base roster, but that's a whole different conversation.
Okay, no, that's the best option. But all I'm saying is, like, if you are gonna put them as DLC, switch them up, because I don't want to wait 2 years to play a character that's real with 3+ moves.
Yeah. Look, outside of
tits.
Yeah. Okay, so I know how you're saying like, oh, season passes like don't make it hype or whatever. I'm gonna say this. I think they do, because even if it's the same characters, people are still getting good hype, right? Characters, the movesets, because obviously like, oh, they weren't in base roster because maybe they're not part of the story, which I know you niggas gonna harp on that because hating ass niggas. The other thing too is, think about outside of fighting games, right? When it's like, man, I haven't played this game in a while. It's kind of died down. We're just kind of playing. New character comes out, like Marvel Rivals. When Ultron comes out, I bet you a lot of the people that fucking stop playing Marvel Rivals are gonna be like, Ultron? Oh yeah, oh shit, I need to try him out. And then once again, your numbers go up. People get hyped. People start chatting, and that's why Marvel Rivals is gonna have like a character a month or some shit like that.
Yeah, but Marvel Rivals,
they want to keep.
It's a bad example.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals is a bad comparison and example. It's like Ultron is an entirely new thing that no one knows what's gonna happen, and every character is brand new because Marvel Rivals, everything is new.
But did the person simply say fighting season passes?
Yeah, I'm talking about fighting season passes.
I still say yeah, because you're still.
Because Marvel Rivals characters can punch. Like, what are you talking about?
Because every game, like, it's literally, you can see it in general. But even if you're like, hey, like, it's just, not just hype. It's still like, like a character got brought back. Oh shit, I'm hopping back on the game. But that's
the point Crim is trying to make, right? So a character getting brought back, like getting hype for a season pass. And you know how they always give character silhouettes, so you don't really know who's coming until like a month before their announcement. So everybody's hyped, like, oh shit, we're getting a character announcement tomorrow. Oh my god, I wonder who it is. And then they announce it, and it's Akuma. It's always Akuma. And it's like, oh, yay, the character that I hate fighting against. Or the character that I've never played, but we always see in every fucking game. Like the character that's always S tier. Yay, how am I supposed to get excited for that stupid shit? You know what I mean?
And on top of the time intervals.
Smash Ultimate. Because you can say the same shit about Smash Ultimate, but we're still hyped for any character that came around.
But Smash Ultimate had every character, and all the new characters were brand new. What is the point you're trying to make? You try to compare. Well, you try to compare Marvel Rivals, but Marvel Rivals, as Crim said, is a completely brand new game, and all the characters coming to it are new. We know Ultron exists. We know Ultron exists within the Marvel universe, but we've never actually been able to get our hands on him and play him ourselves in a fucking video game. So what is the point you're trying to make?
So first of all, you didn't even specify fighting games, but even if you did, it's still.
I thought he did.
I don't.
Do season passes keep fighting games hype and alive?
Even if I didn't do Marvel Rivals, it's still the same thing. Any fighting game, they're gonna go, like with fucking Smash, right? Even if it was like all brand new characters, right? you didn't know if they were gonna be in there because when they showed off a fighter pass, they were like, okay, here's like they're gonna get 5 characters. You can either buy them individually or buy a season pass or whatever the fuck, or fighter pass. Take that back, fighter pass.
But they're all new.
Right, they're all new, but that's because Smash Ultimate already had, hey, here's everybody. If you had here's everybody in fucking Street Fighter,
then nobody would really complain. Because if you're giving everybody all the characters that should already be in the roster because they were in previous games, who the fuck is going to complain? There's nothing to complain about. You've given the community everything they could have possibly asked for.
Yeah. Right, but then when a character comes out and it's like a character they don't know or it's like obscure, they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this? Why would I get hyped for this?" But
no, they like won't. Dude, no, you're actually trolling. Hold on, let me say, dude, you're fucking trolling, dude. If they gave everybody every single character for Tekken, right? Or let's not talk about Tekken because y'all don't really know everything about Tekken. We'll talk about Street Fighter. We'll keep it Street Fighter. If they gave us every character from Street Fighter 3rd Strike, from Street Fighter 4, from Street Fighter 5, from Street Fighter 6, if we had that entire Street Fighter roster, okay, that would be one of the greatest Street Fighter fighting games in the universe.
Ever.
Like, ever. Everybody would just be like, oh my god, I can't. I'd be still playing it. Even if it had Street Fighter 6 mechanics, which is wild, right, for me to be saying it loud. Even if it had Street Fighter 6 mechanics, if it had every single character across all the Street Fighter games, I'd be playing that shit. Because you would boot it up, and you would be met with some random nobody playing Lord knows who. Like, they'd be playing the fucking dude that puts on the oil. No, I'd be using that. Yeah. They'd be playing the dude that puts on the oil and like slides on the ground. I'd be like, yo, holy shit, I have not seen this character before. Like, that'd be so exciting.
It's another goofy character like G, the president of the Earth and shit.
Yeah, you got G, El Fuerte, like people whipping out. Bro, oh my gosh, that'd be the most godly game. And if they decided to like, hey, we gave you guys all the characters, we're gonna add more with another season pass, and I'd be like, shit, fuck it, give me more. Let's see.
I've seen so many like things where like people would. I've seen like reaction when people like bigger names that characters announce. They're like, who the fuck is this? Ugh. Don't they play like this? Like. There's people who generally have that, but if it's like a character they've had before, because the question isn't, yo, does a fighting game roster make you hype if they brought everybody back? The question is, does a fighting game season pass get you hype? Yes.
Okay, but it still applies though, because I think what Crib was basically saying is they're gonna announce a season pass or whatever, or a character pass, fighter pass, whatever, and it's gonna have 5 characters. And you're gonna get at least like 2 or 3 returning characters that you don't give a shit about, or that should have been in the base game to begin with. So how can it get you hyped if you're gonna look at a character and be like, okay, he should have been in the fucking game?
And on top of that, I tried to bring it up earlier. One thing I don't like about season passes as well would be the time intervals in between them, because they announce it and now you gotta wait like 4 months, and then you only get like what 3? No, that's exaggeration. 4 characters a year? Like, why does it take so long?
Yeah, you get one every quarter. You get a character every quarter of the year, and it's like, dude, why can't we get at least like 2 or 3?
Exactly, and then you're waiting so long for a character you hate. And Terrellion brought it up, and again, maybe 100 times we used him as an example, Akuma. I hate Akuma so much because he's always dirt cheap, dirt easy. He's just a retarded all around. He has an option for everything. So when they announced Akuma for Street Fighter 6, I was like, great, I gotta wait an entire year for a character I fucking hate.
And then you gotta wait another year just for Lord knows what's coming. And you're dude, it fucking blows dick, man. It blows absolutely. Shoto Fighter 6, bro. Shoto Fighter 6.
It's just like, I hate having to wait that long for a character I have no excitement for. Like, not everybody hates Akuma like I do, but like still, it's just the time interval is so bad. Like, does it have to be one character for 1 quarter? So we're only getting 4 characters.
They can't give you everything. But
okay, let me prove you wrong on that. You guys know King of Fighters 15? The first season of that fighting game, they gave you 3 characters. They gave you a full team.
That's how King of Fighters works?
No, it's not, because the second season they gave you, season 2, they gave you only 1 character.
So see, basically King of Fighters 15 did what me and Terrell would want in a season pass. They didn't bring you 1, not 2, but 3 characters on each release. Like there was Team Southtown, Team Samurai Showdown. Yeah, you got 3 full characters to learn, to play, to have fun with, as opposed to 1 wait 5 months.
Yes.
Wait 5 months. It's like
I feel like that's different because the game is built on being a team.
No,
I wish it was the case, but the second season was releasing one single character.
Right, but that was because like you guys.
No, that was because I believe they asked the
big...
community. I think they asked the community on Twitter or some shit. They're like, hey, what would you guys rather prefer? Is like release a full team, or release 3 characters, or just like release one and we do it soon or something like that. I can't remember how exactly they worded it. And I guess the people decided like do one character so we can get one character quicker or some shit. I don't know. I would have to do more research on it. But regardless, season 2 fucking blows dick outside of the
which is kind of funny that you mentioned that because that kind of proved my point. About like people were hyped for like, oh, we got one character, oh shit, oh they brought that character back, wow. But like King of Fighters, the roster for that is the closest thing y'all like, because Tekken does that shit too, where they pretty much bring
season 2
back.
by the way is also known as like the worst season pass by like everybody. No, I don't think hardly anybody likes it, and especially the way it ended. People are just like, wow, okay, we're getting Vice and Mature at the very fucking end when nobody gives a shit about the game anymore, and you got City of the Wolves coming out right around the corner.
Yeah.
Like, oh cool, thanks guys.
Yeah, I don't know why they ended it with them. That made no sense. Could end it with somebody else. But that's what I'm saying is like I say that King of Fighters is an outlier because it's literally built on 3 characters, and because a lot of the characters they did bring in, they were part of another team that's already in the game. So I was like, okay, well shit, we can't like make a team of like Mature, Vice, and Iori because he's already on the fucking other team.
No, but they were already mixing up the characters though. Like a lot of the characters in King of Fighters 15 used to be on completely different teams. They mixed it this game. I think they always mix it. Because the story always changes, so
Really?
every character's they tend to mix it. So a lot of the characters tend to like have different goals for their stories or whatever, and they end up teaming up with other characters and doing a different shit. I don't keep up fully with the story, but it's different. They could have found a way.
Story mode doesn't matter in a fighting game.
Yeah, we're gonna transition into that. But the story mode matter.
A little off topic.
Just look in the description for that one. All right.
They fumbled with Team Awaken Orochi. That was I love King of Fighters 15 and I love season 1, but that was the biggest waste of a DLC I've ever seen. As much as I like KOF, we got 3 of the same characters.
They were different. They were just like they were different characters. They're the same character. They look the same, but they actually all played completely different
moves.
Yeah,
they're the shadow version. They're the shadow version.
No, it's not even shadow versions. They actually play completely different.
No, I'm saying like they're the shadow versions, like in Persona 4 Arena.
Yeah.
Which
was also not in your difficulty tier list. But dive kick was.
Yeah, because it's the.
It's okay, comment.
Hating ass niggas, bro. Every time we make a fighting game video, it's always them hating on me for either the way I play, the characters I choose, what I like about.
Okay, back on
I
topic.
Can do combos,
Yeah.
I can't do fucking variation that like. I hate these niggas.
Remember. This was you at the start of the video. This was you, like right now.
That was me in the previous video and the current video right now that you're watching. Holy shit.
So I'm gonna have to say this. I do agree with Krem here. I think what fighting games should do is they should tell us the full roster. Like they should just they should announce every single character. Be like, okay, this is the characters. This is the timeline of when they're coming. This is who they are. This is what we got coming. The trailers will release a week or like a month before they come out, you know, and just tell us what's coming so I can be able to be like, oh, I'm fucking hype or I'm not hype, because I don't want to sit here looking at silhouettes and then get disappointed when it's just like a character I don't give a shit about, like Krim was saying, you know, Kuma or some boring ass fucking female character. I'm sorry, you know, I'm not a big fan of those, but I agree with Krim here. I'd prefer, as Rainbow was saying, he's like, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense to say that, but I prefer for fighting games to just be like, everybody's here. Take the Smash Bros route. Dude, when Smash Bros did that shit, Smash Ultimate was like, everybody's here. That was the most hype thing in fighting game history, and I'd hardly even consider Smash Bros to be a fighting game. That was the most hypest goddamn thing in fighting game history, dude. You can't tell me that wasn't.
Also, another thing is, even with characters that people will like, maybe it's just me. For example, let's say Sakura. You all know I played her in Street Fighter 5. If she were to return in Street Fighter 6, sure, I'd be like a little hyped, but I'm not gonna be too hyped because my mentality is gonna be, oh, Sakura, big whoop, like she's back again.
Yeah, just another boring Shoto.
Yeah.
We need way more diversity in Street Fighter 6 specifically.
That is true.
Like even if it's not Shoto, what I'm trying to say is like even if it's a character I like, it's just if it's someone I know who's been in every game and then they're appearing again, it's like, dude.
Okay.
I waited like 3 years for that.
Yeah.
Like
it's marketing, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
It is marketing. It's not even that it's bad. It's actually good. It works because there's people like fucking Rainbow and all the other fighting game players out there.
Hey, that's nigga part 2.
There's people like you that exist that are gonna be like, oh my god, you know, have those fucking thumbnails like, oh shit, Sakura, oh fuck, let's look under the skirt, bro. Oh shit, you know, it's like, dude, oh my god.
So this is primarily these two videos, just FYI, because these niggas always be hating. It's actually insane. It's crazy because these reactions that they have, like, and shit, and I'm surprised like he doesn't have YouTube videos. I think the last time he did that was like 5 years ago. This nigga doesn't have shit for himself in general. Like, get the fuck up out of here. Season 2.
And we're haters.
Okay, sorry, I had like a fucking like was, you know, an Avatar where like Team Avatar was all like around Azula and shit, and it was like we got her, and I'm just saying like, you know, like, that's where that shit.
All right, nice.
But the image of me as Azula and everybody says Team Avatar.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Yes, what I love fighting games that have the Smash treatment where it's like everybody's here, of course, obviously. But season passes in general get people hype. I don't know what the fucking I don't know what else to tell y'all.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm autistic with ADHD and I'm not hyped for that shit. And you guys are hyped for it? Like,
I might not be like hyped for the characters, but no, I'll be hyped that they're bringing something new. Like,
but it's not new. It's not new. That's what we're talking about. That's what he's talking about. He's saying that at times it's not new.
Yeah. Duh. But there's something you're gonna have to be excited for in a new season.
Okay.
Don't cap and say like, I can't find something to be hype about in this season.
But even then, that's like one thing out of the entire season.
But you're still. The question was, are you hyped for like when a new fighting game season comes out? Yes, because there's something you're hyped for, even if it's like, it's all the same characters.
Fuck! I can't believe I'm doing this. What did the exact tweet say? Is it season or is it like season pass?
Oh shit! I don't know.
Okay.
Season niggas still get hype. Season passes, niggas still
because
get hype.
Here's the thing. Like, of course, I'm never gonna say hype, but shut up. A new season comes with changes. It comes. He said thing. He's talking about thing from Marvel Rivals. A new season comes with balance changes. It's gonna come with characters getting nerfed, characters getting buffed. So a character that's a problem in a current season could potentially become a nothing character. Like, you'll never see them in ranked again, and your favorite character is gonna become godly, right? Like, that's exciting, hype, whatever. But if we're talking exclusively characters, I don't give a shit about that, because it tends to just be characters that you used to that were in the previous game coming back as DLC, because the fighting games are just, you know, they're trying to.
But doesn't season passes technically mean like, hey, here's a new season?
Fighter pass or whatever. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it isn't like season passes be like, hey, here's a new battle pass, or hey, here's a new like balance changes.
Fighting game battle passes are dog shit. I've yet to see a single fighting game battle pass that was good.
Tekken's the best one so far,
and that's bad. I thought they were gonna be good, man. I thought fighting games were gonna be on top of it, bro, for the next generation of gamers, and be like, hey, look, we see Fortnite's doing it, they're knocking it out. We see fucking Rivals or whatever, all these other fucking games that aren't fighting games, they've unlocked the code. They got it down. They got the system. Let's take, let's take a little bit of this pie and let's try it ourselves. And they fucked it up. They fumbled the bag.
Notice how it's wow, it's Fortnite, American company. Oh wow, it's fucking Call of Duty and they have all these references and shit, American company. All these fighting game companies, Japanese. That's why I told you guys they're 40 years behind, bro. I'm telling you. Nintendo, Japanese company.
I'm not saying anything about the Japanese people. That's all Rainbow. Take it as you.
Okay, but still a Japanese company. Like, the Japanese tend to be like, we're stuck in our ways, we're stubborn, right?
Racist.
They're not.
Moment. I'm kidding.
It's just true. It's just true.
I'm kidding.
The only Japanese company that can't keep up with the times is Nintendo. All these other companies could, but they just choose not to. Nintendo is just greedy and retarded.
But the only thing Nintendo did right was Sakurai and Smash Bros. Ultimate. Everybody's here. Like, I don't know how they got that shit correct. And every other fighting game just like, nah, 15 character roster. We're gonna have the game run for 6 years, and we're gonna give you guys a 40 character DLC roster. What would you say?
Did you ever see the history of Sakurai, like how he got to make Smash Bros. And shit? I could probably link a video, but I remember watching that shit.
Oh, let us know if you guys want us to do a video on that. The history of Sakurai. Anyways,
remember
video essay. First video essay. Yapping hours. I don't even know what you're saying, but I'm sure it's stupid. Well, look, it's crazy how like one take where it's just like, yeah, we'll just say yes or no, turned out to be how long? 30 minutes?
26 minutes.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Oh shit.
Anyways, gentlemen, this is why we're called the Yapping Hours. So thanks again for watching another episode of Yapping Hours. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Are you Team Crim hating Season Pass or are you Team Rainbow loving Season Pass? Let us know.